HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
A number of murder suspects are now in police custody as authorities continue their crackdown. Good evening, everyone. I'm Charisma Robinson. After releasing all-point bulletins for a number of wanted men, several of them are now in police custody assisting with investigations. Today, the nation's top cop thanked members of the public for their tips and his special enforcement team for their assistance in bringing those suspects in. LaDon Davis reports.
With the implementation of the highly skilled Selective Enforcement Unit, Commissioner of Police Allison Greenslade says murder suspects and criminals wanted for other offenses are not challenging police and are now turning themselves in. At a press conference late this afternoon, Commissioner Greenslade told the media this new initiative has assisted them with the arrest of a number of wanted men.
They're all being questioned for very, very serious crimes, crimes like murder, armed robbery, attempted murder, and the list goes on. Because of the good work being done by our selective enforcement team, which is comprised of special weapons and tactics officers, members of the flying squad, members of the drug enforcement unit, and other officers, we were able to recover, since the launch of this operation, 3 high-powered weapons with extended magazine capacities. We have recovered a significant amount of dangerous drugs, more specifically marijuana.
Police are also following some significant leads into solving the murder of Queens College teacher Joyelle McIntosh on Village and Parkade Road and Dramico Forbes and White's Addition Camp Road, which both took place hours apart last week.
We have also taken into custody 2 persons, which we believe will now bring closure to the unfortunate murder a teacher that you heard of just recently at Parkgate and Village Road. We wish that we could undo what has happened. Unfortunately, we can. But certainly we're going to do our best to ensure that the people that committed that murder, that egregious crime, are in the shortest possible time taken before the halls of justice. We are also, we believe, close to bringing conclusion to the murder which occurred at White's Addition. Happened on the same evening, short time between the two. That is the teacher and the White's Addition. The same people that we're talking to for the matter involving the teacher are the same people that we're talking to in respect to the matter at White's Addition.
Meanwhile, the nation's top cop is strongly encouraging family members to assist police with their investigations.
He need to come in. His family members and friends should turn him in, the sooner the better. We are going to find him. It's just a matter of time. This young man must turn himself in. I'm going to ask his relatives and friends, people that care about him, to continue to encourage him to do what is right and proper. We are going to find him. We are going to find this person who is wanted. The poster is clearly illuminated for you to see and to record. This person is wanted by law enforcement. The sooner he is off the streets, the better. This person is wanted for very serious crimes.
Additionally, police are also one step closer to solving the murder of a man in Elizabeth Estates. However, the top cop says while he is pleased with the overwhelming support by attorneys, religious leaders, and the public, he is certain that those criminals who plan to skip town will be caught and charged. LaDon Davis, ZNS Network News.
Thanks so much, LaDon. The verdict is in for businessman and Christian People's Movement leader Stephen Surratt. Cleopatra Murphy was in court today and has the outcome of the case involving the sexual abuse of 2 minors.
A 7-woman, 2-man jury has found Christian People's Movement leader Stephen Surratt unanimously guilty on 2 charges of sexually abusing 2 young boys. Senior Justice Stephen Isaacs sentenced Surratt to serve 2 15-year sentences concurrently starting Thursday. Isaacs told Surratt he could file for an appeal. For both charges, he faced a maximum of life in prison. Speaking to the jury and Justice Isaacs, Surratt thanked them and said he forgave them for what he called a miscarriage of justice. Surratt said the jury was not allowed to hear a lot of the evidence the defense had, but insisted the truth would come out. Surratt, who added that he has never in his life been a homosexual, thanked his family who were in court for their support. In court Tuesday, a now 10-year-old boy testified that he was 6 years old when he and another boy were abused by Surratt in December 2010. The child said Surratt instructed the other boy to insert his private into him, which he did. The boy said he was assaulted by Surratt several times between then and December 2011. Following the verdict, Surratt's attorney Halson Moultrie said he was surprised at the quick and unanimous verdict, adding that sexual offense charges are easy to allege but difficult to defend. Moultrie says he has every intention of appealing because they have evidence to support his client's innocence.
We have confidence in the system, and the system allows for an appellant process, so I am going to wait instructions towards the appeal. We believe we have strong grounds for appeal in that a very important statement from the police was not allowed. Secondly, there was no medical evidence whatsoever that was brought before the jury in this matter.
Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Thanks so much, Cleo. The appellate court held a special sitting today to mark the retirement of 2 justices of appeal. Fern Carey tells us that during the occasion, the newest member was also welcomed to the bench.
After serving as a Justice of Appeal for 5 years, Sierra Leone native Abdoulaye Conte is now retiring. Also hanging up his cap and gown after 3 years of service is Justice of Appeal Justice Neville Adderley. Court President Justice Anita Allen described the legal scholars as talented, highly respected jurors who served on the bench with distinction.
Mr. Justice Conte is a man of supreme intelligence, with a wealth of knowledge which spans many areas of learning. He has a masterful understanding of the law, and that, coupled with his exemplary diligence to the law and his selfless commitment to its adjudication, made him a tremendous asset to this court. Justice Adderley's strength is in the area of commercial law, but his incisive, inquisitive, and analytical legal mind enabled him to competently adjudicate cases involving other areas of the law, and in that regard to write judgments reflective of great effort and quality time spent.
Ms. Allen also welcomed the court's newest member, Madam Justice Stella Maureen Crane Scott. She noted that the Guyanese native is insightful and her judgments are well-researched, well-reasoned, and balanced. Meantime, Attorney General Alison Maynard Gibson noted that judicial review matters flourished under Justice Conte, while Justice Adderley delivered landmark rulings that helped to determine the approach of judges in sentencing.
Both of them have contributed significantly to jurisprudence, and not only in the Bahamas. And, if I may say to them personally, your outstanding judgments, including your dissenting judgments, will be quoted for decades.
Justice Conte and Adderley say they will miss their colleagues and the entire staff at the Court of Appeal. However, they have big plans once they retire.
To me, is to hang up my wig and gown and knuckle down to my desk and write my memoirs and do consultancy. I'll be in Atlanta. That's where I'm resident.
It is with mixed emotions that in a few months I will bid these hallowed halls adieu. I nevertheless look forward with excitement to the next phase.
Justice Conte will demit office in mid-December. However, Justice Adderley will remain for another 3 months. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.